guys, I am ReOrder. Welcome to my production tips tutorial videos. Today we will speak about how I EQ my bass lines and how I EQ the pads in my own songs that I produce. We'll be using this project. It's called C Patrol, and it is part of 5 template projects, including the build-ups, which will be released on in summer this year on my loops. All those projects, as I said, are only the build-ups to help the starting producers to create their own build-ups in the tune, because I know that many of you struggle with this. So this should help you, and I hope it will. It will include some projects from progressive till uplifting and tech trance. So let's play this one. So I will show you how I did the EQ on the pads and on the bass lines. So how it's done, this is what I'm going to show you now. I really hope this video will be helpful. So, I actually used 3 mid basses and 1 sub bass in this project. You can see it's a pretty simple bass structure. You have 3 bass lines. This is the first one. Then we have the mid bass. Another mid bass. This is more like a rolling bass, which makes the flow go in, and then the sub bass. All pretty simple. It's all done in silence, and all together it plays like this. So one is helping the other to stand out. So what is important in the bass lines and how I do it? So for the mid basses and high basses, I tend to usually cut everything which is under 242, 250 Hertz. Why is that? Because if you don't do it and you keep it open, then it will interfere with your kick, and that results to really crappy sound. So let's have a listen to the bass lines without the EQ and with the kick. So you can hear that it's actually killing the kick. So I will put it back. And now listen to it again. Now we have the bass lines doing what we want them to. They're just making the flow. And yes, we lost some energy because there's a sub bass missing, so we turn on the sub bass, and the sub bass will actually substitute the frequencies for these bass lines here, so it will sound pretty well. So we didn't lose the energy, but we have the flow going on. The kick is still prominent, and all sounds pretty balanced together. Some tips what I use actually for the bass lines, for example, on the when you have a very plucky mid bass line like this one, I like to put some saturation at the top, you know, some distortion, just a little bit, so it's cutting through the mix much better. You know, it makes the flow better. The important thing about the sub bass is that it has to be in mono. Same with your kick. The kick also has to be in mono. The rest of the sounds can be playing on the sides, left, right, how you want it. But important about this, sub bass and kick must be in mono. And then how I do the bass, the pads, sorry. So with the pads, I actually don't cut as much in the bottom, but it's important to cut it. With the pads, I usually cut around 140. Why I do this? It's because you know, in the bass lines you have the sub bass substituted, but the same when you do this with the pads that you cut too much, they just lose their energy. So that's why I don't cut them as much. So this is the pad sounding with how it's done now. And this is how it would sound if I cut it like the bass lines. So you could hear that it just lost its energy. Let's have a listen again with the 144. You hear there is some mid-low frequencies playing, and this is what gives the pads the energy. Another important thing about the pads is to put some stereo widening on it. I use utility from Ableton, but if you don't have it, there are some plugins which can increase your stereo. The other way to do it is to use the delay, and yeah, that increases the widening of the pads, so they are more spacey, and it gives some air to the mix. Same is done with all the pads. For the high pads, I actually cut even more, just so they play on the high frequency. It's just to give some extra energy to the pads. So all together, they sound like this. If I put the top pad away, so you can hear it is just to give it some more energy. So this is how I do it. You can see some tips for the pads. Don't forget to increase the high frequencies when you work with them. Also a little bit of the mids and the mid-high frequencies. Just play around there until you find how you like it the most. With the saw pads like this one, I like to put it in the shelf high and just raise it up. Let's see, it's raised by 10 dB, around 10,000. Doesn't really matter, it's just to raise it so it has more energy. Or you can actually right here, you can increase the noise, and does the same trick. The noise is very important with the pads. It gives the energy. It's actually, the noise is very important for the whole electronic music. Without it, everything sounds empty. I remember that in the past I used to get rid of all the noise, and I was wondering why my tunes sound so empty. So noise, reverb, that's how it's done. And that's it. Don't forget to put sidechain on it, and if you wonder how I do the sidechain, just check the video in this place here. Just click on the link and you will see it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this video helped, and please let me know what you like to know. This was Production Tips with me, ReOrder. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. Bye.